This is a Move Forever Workbook Guide, Week 41, Activate. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Lao Tzu. Getting going on your journey begins by literally taking that first step, getting up and putting one foot in front of the other. Just like in Move Happy, this adventure starts with walking. Only this time, it's walking, walking, and more walking. Evolution designed you to be able to walk with efficiency and ease for hours at a time. The more you do it, the more natural the setting, the more you feel yourself tapping into this innate ability, enjoying a sense of connection as you move along. You won't be going out all guns blazing, but you will occasionally feel your breathing getting heavier, particularly over uneven terrain. Your goal is to distribute your energy efficiently over the entire trail, especially as your expeditions get longer and lumpier. If you can finish feeling like you've worked a little but aren't worn out, you're definitely onto something. A long walk in nature that feels invigorating throughout, but where you still have something left in the tank at the end, is your goal for this week. You should continue to work on this feeling from now on, aiming to finish most of your adventures in this way. You'll soon notice the difference this approach is making to your overall health. Walking will be your main tool on the trail, used to create and maintain an extraordinary foundation on which to build all future endeavours. So let's dive into the workbook and get this week underway. This is the overall layout of the workbook. Plan it, do it, and then review it. Let's start with our plan for this week. We're going to focus on 3 things this week. Go out and stay out. So this week's challenge is pretty simple: to walk. To stretch the amount of time we devote to walking to maximise the benefits we experience. This can mean rethinking schedules and changing long-established routines to give more of our precious time to our self-propelled locomotion. Notice and appreciate. We're going to make sure that lots of the time we spend walking this week is done mindfully, that we're fully present and able to notice and appreciate what's going on around us and also how our bodies feel as we navigate the terrain. Mix it up. Being present as we walk means we'll spot more opportunities along the way to play, to pause, and to connect with our surroundings in different ways, to keep things interesting along the way. So let's see how we got on. Walking is a fundamental of natural human movement. So how do we take walking, and with it our health and well-being, to the next level? We go long. Make time in our schedules, pack ourselves a little bag with a few essentials, and off we go. Exploring our local area and broadening our comfort zone as we push outside the familiar paths we've taken before. From a few hours to a full day, what constitutes a long walk varies massively, but we're always aiming to have something left in the tank at the end to go again. Often, a long walk can seem like the ideal time to make a phone call or listen to music or an audiobook, but being present as we walk, mindfully noticing and appreciating our surroundings and how our bodies react to the varying terrains adds another dimension to our walks. Our senses are stimulated by what we see and hear, our interest piqued by the smallest details of seasonal changes. We reach up to touch hanging leaves and branches, crouch to investigate nature's bounty on the ground, and vary our pace to react to whatever crosses our path along the way. We return with a narrative, not a dull tale of plodding, but a multi-sensory story rich in detail and interest. Long walks don't need to be continuous linear expeditions. an exercise in getting from A to B to tick off a time or distance target. Being present as you walk allows you to take in so much more, and giving yourself permission to appreciate it can add interest and fun to a walk. So take time to stop and gaze at the view. Take off your shoes for a while and connect with the ground beneath your feet. Head off course to investigate anything you haven't noticed before. Mixing things up adds interest and keeps you alert and on your toes. Midway through the week, let's see what ideas and inspirations we've come up with. Genius walks. As our walks get longer this weekend and our bodies start to unwind and relax, there'll be times that our subconscious minds wander into problem-solving mode, coming up with ideas and solutions that may have stymied us in our sedentary states. We call these genius walks. Dave wrote an article about the notion of genius walks and how locomotion can inspire ideas and problem solving. You can find it on the Everyday Adventurers website, and here's a short excerpt. Moving around outdoors in the fresh air often helps to kick our brain into gear, helping to work over our problems, clear the clutter, or even gain a little distance and perspective. Picture a genius at work, pacing around their lab, chewing over a problem. It's almost as if the movement helps get those mental cogs turning. Imagine instead that it's you doing the pacing, thinking through a tricky problem of your own, perhaps one you've been stuck on for a while. Just thinking about moving seems to shift your mind into another gear. Now picture yourself doing that pacing outdoors in a favourite natural setting. You don't have to go back and forth because there are no walls in the way. You can look up and round as you move. You feel the front of your body opening up and you're able to breathe more comfortably. The fresh air that surrounds you provides an invigorating hit of oxygen that enters the bloodstream, travelling round your entire body to your brain, which soaks it up like a sponge. So let's have a look back at the week and see how we got on. Make time. Prioritising walking is a conscious decision, and it can take some rescheduling and reprioritising to make time for long walks. But just as we make time for others in our lives, so taking big chunks of time back for ourselves to build up our own health and well-being seems perfectly reasonable and hugely beneficial. Notice how you feel. Whether you're used to walking long distances or you're gradually building time spent on your feet, always let your body be your guide. What feels effortless one day might challenge your physical and mental reserves on another. Take note of all that you're feeling and how it links into the rest of your day, your week, your month. Respect your body's need to rest, to sleep, to recover, and treat yourself with kindness. And let your creative juices flow. As your body moves, your mind is free to wander, and you might find yourself coming up with creative ideas, solving problems, and answering questions along the way. Think about keeping a pen and paper in your pocket, or jotting down a note in your phone to capture these thoughts before they float off into the wind. That way your mind is then free again, and the creative process can start over. So, as for the weekly checks, it's a full house of everyday adventuring. Walking, walking, walking. Now it's over to you. Have a go yourself. Use Move Forever, the workbook, this video, and your own experience and intuition to plan out your week, then go about it curiously and enjoy yourself. Don't forget to share your progress in the group. Pictures, videos, lessons, ideas. We love to hear how you're getting on. Please feel free to like this video, Share it or even subscribe so you don't miss future editions. Remember the Move Forever group on Facebook and the resources page on the website. See you next week!